Let's take you back to the Mthatha High Court. This is where proceedings are currently being heard, an urgent interdict or an urgent matter seeking to interdict the Walter Sisulu University from evicting students after the institution resolved campus must close effective immediately.
To ensure that there is, a proper balance in ensuring that everybody is safe. And to the extent that Mr. Mngonyana has got difficulties in getting a clear undertaking from his clients, the student leadership, about criminal activities and illegalities that should not take place, then I will deal with that. Because then if what they want is to be protected, not to be evicted so that they can continue or start conducting themselves criminally, then I can't allow that. But these legal niceties, we can argue them the whole night.
What's the term of those legal niceties?
Yeah, I mean, you raise Blasco funds. That's why one of the legal niceties that you want me to say, well, on the version of the students, the respondent's version must prevail and therefore refuse the interdict and let's go home. What does that mean? Throw them in the streets. And if one of them is raped tomorrow and one of them is killed, well, you say that's an assumption. What if one is not raped?
Well, hence my argument was, the Lordship is saying parties must prevail on the interest of justice.
Yes.
Regardless of
let's be practical. That's all I'm asking for.
Hence I agree with the Lordship to then say, the Lordship believes that regardless of what the law is saying, let us stand with the
No. You see, the suggestion that what I will be doing is unlawful in the sense that you say, regardless of what the law says, there's a problem with that. Because what you seem to be relying on is Rule 612, but at the same time suggesting that what the interdict itself may very well be unlawful. Are you saying that?
No, ma'am.
Then what do you mean when you say regardless of what the law says? Is this the law on Blasco funds?
This, again, my Lord, goes to that the Lordship's standpoint was, despite difficulties faced by the applicants, and despite what generally the law would indicate, the interest of justice must then prevail.
Exactly, and
this is where the Lordship and I
agree
at this particular point.
Yes.
And the proposition by Lordship to adjourn the court and for my lady colleague will come out of that particular purpose.
And Mr. Mngonyana, stand, please. I don't expect you to come up with all sorts of difficulties and all of that. I will not allow your students or the students to engage in unlawful activities. So if what they want is to go back, be allowed to remain in campus, and at the same time they must behave unlawfully in the sense of them claiming not to be able to protect their own home, if you like, where they stay, the university, because we don't know who pelted stones, we don't know who destroyed the vehicle, so we can't guarantee that it can't happen again. I hope that's not where you are with your clients.
No. The order,
because then it would be very difficult not to accept the university's case, that then the solution then is for their eviction.
The order that has been proposed by His Lordship can be implemented, because since the university has been closed, the entrance to
but Mr. Genukile is concerned that you submitted earlier on that you don't know who it is, not you, it is not your client, you don't know who it is, and so you can't prevent it from happening because it was done by some other people, that it could have been the staff, it could be members of the public, it could be anyone, and therefore it has got nothing to do with you. Then the concern of the court would then be, but then are you able to ensure that those people who want to behave unlawfully do not do so hijacking your situation where you are protesting, demonstrating peacefully for the issues that you want to raise with the university, and allow other people to conduct themselves in a manner that it cannot be accepted in a society governed by the rule of law.
My Lord, the structural interdict that you've proposed can be implemented, my Lord, and has the potential to, or in fact can protect the interest of the respondents, my Lord. That is the short answer. To put you into confidence, my Lord, is that the entrances to the university has been controlled. We have certain parties now who will no longer have access to the university. Remember, my Lord, my submissions was that I'm representing the students who remain residents of the university. Such at a time where the violent protests were occurring, multiple other parties had access to the institution, which no longer now have access to the institution since the institution is closed. So what we are saying now, my Lord, is that the status quo currently is that this structural interdict will be dealing with the students who remain in the campus, who remain residents of the campus. And controlled access has been implemented in the university. So only students who are residents have access to the university. And if
until the university is open.
Indeed so, my Lord.
That's all that is required.
So there's controlled access. Only students who are residents have gained access to the university and its facilities, my Lord. And structural interdict in that regard, then, my Lord, is possible. It can be controlled. It can be calculated.
Mr. Kenugela, would you have difficulties with that?
Oh, my Lord. As it is termed in quite the utopia of the state, where who remains inside is the only individuals that are to be protected. So I think the connotations then to the effect that students who do not reside within the institution are not to be permitted within the institution. That's how I understand the
Well, what Mr. Mgunyana is saying is not that the university must be opened in the sense that the university must be directed to allow learning and teaching to commence. He's saying his clients should not be thrown out in the streets while the university is sorting out its problems. And so, to that extent, the residents of the campus, the students that reside in the campus are allowed to stay in, and the university sorts out its problems with the student leadership in the meantime. And the details of what the court order should entail are the matter for the discussion between the two of you. The question is, for me, would be whether that would then be an order that I'm prepared to make. But what I'm getting at here is something that makes you comfortable and it makes him comfortable. Well, I'm not looking for winners here. And so if you want to win, you are not going to win tonight. There will be no winners or losers.
That discussion pertains to what occurs to the students inside the campus, inside the university. Then, as your Lordship has indicated, that what happens to those that are outside will be detailed out in that particular one.
Yes. I'm assuming, and this should not be too long. I'm giving you, how many minutes do you need? Because if you have a problem in crafting the order, I'll make it myself.
My Lord, knowing how your Lordship is to be detailed,
yes,
we would not want to present an ambiguous order that would not be fit to the
exactly.
A period of 20 minutes will suffice.
That should be enough. I thought so too. Yes. Mr. Mgunyana?
My Lord, 20 minutes will suffice.
All right. Thank you. Court adjourns.
All right.
All right, there you have it. Court has adjourned for 20 minutes. Those are live proceedings, of course, from the Mthatha High Court in the Eastern Cape that is currently still hearing that urgent matter seeking to interdict the Walter Sisulu University from evicting students of the institution, resolved to close campus effective immediately. This is following the protest that many would have seen throughout the week that saw one student lose his life. The judge there having asked a number of questions to the legal representative of the university that wouldn't the eviction result in further safety issues for students who might now be on the streets when the university had maintained that they were evicting the students to ensure their safety with the current situation. Well, the legal representative has stressed that the destruction at this point, with a vehicle also having been torched, has rendered the institution, or rather the situation, untenable to the point that not even an interdict or an order instructing that the students not destroy property would be effective. The judge also there questioning why the university has not sought to address the argument by the students that they rely on NSFAS and wouldn't have transportation money right now to return home. And the legal representative has also stressed, of the university I might add, that an interdict to prevent the students vandalizing has another element that is confusing for them. Because another reason it wouldn't be effective is because the students had been denying any responsibility when it comes to the vandalism at the institution. So they're saying if you're going to order them to stop destroying, who are them? Because at this point, you've got students that are not admitting that they were the ones behind the vandalism. But of course, we heard from the legal representative of the student, they're indicating that at this point, it mustn't be lost on the court that they represent just the students who remain in campus. Campus has been closed, so there would be some sort of controlled access. Pardon me there would be some sort of controlled access, and that would limit any level of vandalism, and that the SRC would take responsibility and ensure that none of the students vandalize. But of course, they have still not admitted to having been part of the torching of that car and all. Our SABC reporter Fundiso Mthatha has of course been covering that urgent matter that's currently being heard. She'll join us just to give us a summation of those arguments as well as reaction from parties in court. And I stated a bit earlier that we did catch a glimpse of Abathembu King Welekaya Delinjebo in that court gallery. So most certainly, I'm sure Fundiswa will just get a few words from the Abathembu King to find out what he makes of this current case.